What's up, guys? It's me. I'm back with another video, and before I get into everything with this video, I do want to say that Road Revenge is still going. I have two videos for that series I'm going to be making this week. One is a timeline video from Backlash of last year to Royal Rumble of this year, and the other is the actual Royal Rumble entry to the series. So stay tuned for both of those, and also stay tuned for hopefully a live reaction stream on Saturday night for the Royal Rumble. I'm hoping. But with that being said, the reason why I'm making this video is because the massive topic of conversation right now in the IWC is the Bianca, or sorry, not Bianca, the Becky Lynch versus Bayley steel cage match, not happening last night on Raw as was advertised. It got cut. You had an angle in which Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky beat up Becky in the cage and then left. Now, the match got cut due to time because of other segments running along, namely the Tribal Court segment with Sami Zayn earlier in the show. Um, and we're going to get into all of that. There's also the issue of a lack of women's representation on the show in terms of the legends, with Medusa being the only female legend there, though it was WWE themselves had announced that Lita and the Bella Twins would be there at separate times, but neither of them actually showed up. And it sounds like they were never actually confirmed for the show. So make of that what you will. But also, just in terms of like even like with vignettes and stuff like that, and you can boil that down to um like some of the talents not being in WWE anymore, Paige and Sasha Banks being probably the two biggest ones. But also an issue of WWE maybe not necessarily wanting to look back at like the Divas era, and some of the shit that happened in like the Attitude era, which I understand that. I believe me, I do, because the WWE pulled a lot of stupid shit in both of those eras. But considering the Undertaker was there, you could, even though Michelle McCool did announce on Twitter that she wasn't asked to be in the Royal Rumble, and the Bella Twins said the same thing for them. Um, you could have still had both. You still could have Michelle there because Undertaker was there last night for the Bray LA segment, which was fun as fuck. Um, Brock Lesnar came back at the end of the show during the Lashley Theory U.S. title match. So if you wanted to, you could have had Sable come out and then have her gesture to the entrance as Lesnar comes screaming out of there. You could have done that. There's a couple of other options you could have done, but as far as that goes, should there have been more women's representation in terms of legends? Yes, absolutely. In regard to the Becky Bianca match, or goddamn, why do I keep they start with B? God damn it, Becky Bayley match. There we go. There were some segments that you probably could have done without. Um, Having Rick and Charlotte Flair come out to put together the Bianca Sonya match didn't need to happen. You could have just had Bianca come out, cut a promo, and then do the Alexa promo from backstage, which, by the way, that Alexa promo was fucking incredible. You could have done that. You didn't need to do the match. So there's that. The DX Imperium Seth Rollins Street Profits stuff. I almost said Street Outlaws. Street Profits stuff. That could have certainly been cut, and that's where I'm gonna go with this. You had the DX reunion on the Raw season premiere 3 months ago. There was no real reason to do another DX reunion, and that's no offense to Kurt Angle because the whole bit of him joining DX and then him getting named as the special guest referee, that shit was fun. Teddy Long coming out and making the match, that was fun. Um, but I mean, first of all, the way you went about it, you could have done. Ignore that. The way you could have done it differently was you could have just had Seth come out and the Street Profits come out at the same time. just kind of have them and Imperium go at it, and then that's when Teddy Long comes out and makes the match, and that's when you make it that Kurt Angle is the special guest ref. You didn't have to do it one announcement at a time to then prolong it, because that's stupid. But more importantly, you didn't need to do the segment to begin with, because of the fact being, what does it matter? Like, I understand why Imperium came out, because of Gunther's whole shtick of wanting to protect the mat, protect the sanctity of the mat. That's been his whole thing since he came up to the main roster with Ludwig Kaiser, and then getting Giovanni Vinci back, and him being the Intercontinental Champion. That's been his whole shtick with Imperium, and I have no problem with that. But again, it's a segment and a match that honestly didn't matter in the grand scheme of Raw last night. Um, I mean, you can make the argument you could have also cut the poker stuff, even though we got to see certain people, come back, IRS, um, Ron Simmons, et cetera, et cetera. You could have still cut that stuff. Um, I'm not even really sure where the hell they're going with this whole JBL Baron Corbin thing. But my thing is, it's either you cut the poker stuff or you cut the DX Imperium Rollins Profit segment and match. And you give that time to Becky and Bayley, because they deserved a long ass cage match. Okay? Now, with that being said, for Triple H to make this right, he has options here. Obviously, the most obvious option is you just make the match happen at the Royal Rumble, which I think makes sense in a way. But what I think makes more sense is you make an angle out of this. And you already kind of have one, because you had Bayley attack with Io and Dakota to Becky. So you can have Becky come out on Raw next week and call out Bayley for being a coward and not fighting her because she had her lackeys do the job for her to take Becky out. You can do that. You can make the angle where Becky calls Bayley a coward. Bayley responds, doesn't even come out to the ring. She does it from via the Titantron backstage, and says that she's not a coward. If anything, Becky's an idiot, because Bayley is always thinking ahead, and Bayley doesn't see the need to face beyond Becky, because Bayley just thinks that she's far superior to Becky in every sort of way, and doesn't need to fight her. Becky obviously gets pissed about it, and so Bayley, as her, Dakota, and Io go to leave, Becky just goes sprinting, Ultimate Warrior style, sprinting to the back, finds them, and beats the crap out of them. And then you have Adam Pearce announce later on that there will be a cage match on Raw. Io and Dakota are banned from ringside, and if they show up and try to interfere on Bayley's behalf, Bayley loses. So you force Bayley to have to do the match by herself. Now, does Bayley find a way to win? Potentially. But I think the best way to go about this is you make an angle out of it, and you kind of just go from there. Like, again, I understand why everyone's mad, because you want more women's representation. But first of all, don't go attacking Roman Reigns, because he does not book the show. Um, People are trying to say that like Vince booked the women better than Triple H did. Bro, if you're trying to say that, that's automatic revisionist history. Because while Vince did have his moments with the women's division in terms of them getting booked well, he also had plenty of moments of them getting booked like shit. If you need a fucking example, Queen's Crown tournament, all the matches were extremely short, and the finals was like a 5-minute one. and they barely had any ring time for that. That's just one of like a shitload of examples, and that's not even that's more on the tame side of examples. I get why everyone's mad, but there's a way to make this right. There's a way to make an angle out of this to make it right, and I think Triple H is already working on that. And I think we're gonna get the cage match announced for Royal Rumble sometime this week, which is why I'm not doing a prediction. Which is why now I'm not doing a prediction video until later in the week because I want to make sure that I know if that match is happening or not. Then, or he'll end up just making an angle out of it, which prolongs the feud to then build more hype, even though it's already a hype match, and then make the match even bigger in the long run. Um, Either way, we'll see. But with all that being said, let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of the content coming up this week. With all that being said, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.